Damn, son, where'd you find this?
People don't be offended by the truth. They be offended because you called out the truth. Simple as that. They don't want to hear any other narrative that makes them look bad.
One thing I can't stand at this big grown age is somebody who act like cause and effect does not exist. Like, yes, your actions caused this outcome. Yes, what you did lit the match. Like, why are you surprised and playing victim?
Guys, Chico, they never lied.
That's how you know somebody doesn't respect you. They listen to reply, not to be understood. They cut you off. They minimize what actually matters to you. They laugh at your boundaries, and then they call you sensitive when you try to hold the line. They show up late, they cancel last minute, forget the things you've told them, because in their world, your time, your energy, even your voice aren't a priority. They're just an option. You see, there are two kinds of people. Those who adjust when they realize they've actually hurt you, and those who expect you to adjust so they don't have to change. You don't need to be disrespected loudly to be disrespected deeply. Sometimes you'll see it. It's just in their tone, in their patterns, in the silence after you're no. Respect isn't what they say when they're watching. It's how they act when they think you'll tolerate it.
Mantra, slave song, slave ship, rip skin, made me rip bones. But no matter how close I hide, my ancestors speak. They tell me they're tired as a friend on us like we're weak. I haven't been getting sleep, longing to sing until I surpass peak. Until they think we are equal, please. All I want is peace. My ancestors beat drums until their bones would bleed, begging the generations remember our story.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Peace and blessings. Glory, praise, and honor to the Most High. Happy Monday. I hope all is well with each and every single one of you. I hope you enjoyed your weekend. I hope you're warm. I hope you're healthy. I hope you're in good spirits. It's good to be back. Fresh new week. Time. Interest, investment, however you want to look at it. Today is a day that you can seize however you see fit. I got Coach in the building, man. Good morning to you, sir. I hope all is well with you.
Man, good morning, man. Happy to be here. Like you said, man, start this Monday off right.
Right on. I'm scrolling on Instagram like I normally do, just scaling back, picking certain things that might be good for discussion. And this particular piece showed up on my timeline. Now, I've never really spoken about this before, so I thought it would be interesting to switch from maybe speaking about relationship stuff for just a second. MJ's final phone call. A lot of people had different opinions about this. Some people said, well, he was set up. Some people say the doctor did it, this, that, and the third. This was interesting, but I never really gave my thoughts on it. So I kind of wanted to play this clip and, chop it up a little bit about your thoughts on it. Hollywood, the industry. We don't have to really name drop or nothing like that, but I mean, I just want to tap in real quick, see what your thought process is on this.
Okay, let's get it.
Let's bring this up on a big screen really quick. Let's see.
I don't know if I should tell you this, but I don't know who may be listening. There may be a group of people
don't understand. What do you mean? Talk to me.
Let's talk about it. Back and forth. I don't know it's going to happen, but I just feel in my soul, only God knows, they could shoot me, they could stab me, they could frame me and say I overdosed you with drugs. They can do a lot of things.
Who could do this?
It's not the government. It's more than the government. But I don't know, Tita. I don't care. They can't kill me. I don't even care my life anymore. I just want my children to be okay. My only choice. To be safe.
Michael.
So let's do this first. Is this video authentic to you, or
Man,
is it?
I was gonna ask you the same thing.
Yeah, that was my first thought. You know what I'm saying? It just randomly popped up on my screen, and with all this AI out, they're making it very difficult to take anything that they upload serious. I'm thinking right now, half the stuff that they putting up now is just something that was generated by somebody behind a screen with an agenda, and this is their way to get to people and start a conversation about something that never existed. So yeah, that was my first thought. Is this real? It can't be. It has to be some bullshit, right? But then I start scrolling the comment section, and there's people who are actually saying, yeah, this is legitimate. This is actual footage. And if we're going off of this is authentic, now we are at a point where, all right, let's say this is authentic and this exchange happens. What's your take from his message, what his exchange is between him and the gentleman that he's on the phone with?
I think, like most things, man, by the time people decide to whistle blow or to raise their hands, it's almost too late. I mean, he was in the business for over 50 years. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate if that was true, and that was in the video is authentic. But I mean, we've heard rumors and stories about all these type of things for years. So it's just, you just wish if it is true that he would have had the opportunity to come forward earlier versus later.
A lot of men and women get into these businesses taking shortcuts, taking opportunities to speed past doing the hard labor to get to that success and that fame and fortune. Do you look at this and it's like, do people really understand what they sign up for when they get into the industry, music, Hollywood? You start dealing with things involving government, business. Do people really understand what they're signing up for?
I guess you could say yes and no, because they know the reality that they live in, and they know what they're trying to get out of and get away from. So if their environment is quote unquote so austere that they want to get out of there, then typically people are doing whatever they can by any means. And then people typically have that mindset of it won't happen to me. So I think people make you see it nowadays with the younger generation. They seem to be getting in and out. They seem to be using it as a vessel to get some money, and then start some other businesses and then branch out. So it doesn't look to see it that is as big as an issue if it was, back in the days with the later entertainers and artists that you hear, voicing their opinions and their likes and dislikes. The younger generation, they just seem to be looking at it for what it is, an opportunity. And some of them are getting in and getting out. And I think, that's probably the best way to go about doing it, as in anything else.
I agree. One thing I will say is use these platforms to create your brand and ultimately make it so strong that you no longer need to rely on that entity to make your source of income, but at the expense of selling your soul. I'm not really with that, right? Just like anything has a contract, there are terms and conditions that you have to agree to with anything. So you're not just walking into it blind. There's always that fine print. Some of us read it, some of us don't. Most of us don't. But when you want that success and you want that red carpet treatment and you want to shake hands with Denzel and Laura Croft and all these different people, but they tell you, look, this is what you got to do. You got to walk through this door. You have to do such and such. You have to dress this way. You have to throw up Baphomet signs, and you got to do all this weird shit. I'd be second guessing myself all day because I'm like, all right, well, I'm doing this, but what am I inviting in? What type of environment am I about to create? What am I about to be a part of? I don't know what he saw. I don't know what type of things he were involved in, but just like having a regular 9-to-5 job, when you at work, you see people do things under the table. Your boss, your supervisors, they undercut, they give favoritism to certain people based on their sexuality, this, that, and the third. Either you say something and then you get blackballed for it, or you don't say nothing and you participated in it, and you have to, pretty much fall in line, or it just come off as if you are a enemy. I couldn't. I don't know how, but let me rephrase that. I know how. It's just unfortunate that we have people in these situations not understanding that eventually you're going to have to reap what you sow. And if this man was literally scared for his life, I'm wondering if it's because of things that he said out of his mouth that they didn't like, or he decided to break away from something that he was involved in.
It's probably a mixture of both. I know he was on stage at one point, talking about Sony Records and his contracts and what he wasn't happy with. Kind of like the same thing Prince did back in the day when he had that slave on his face. So yeah, it's probably a mixture of both of those things. You can't be out there talking bad about people that's funding you, giving you the contracts and putting money in your check, but
let me ask you a question. Do you think that these things are universal. When I say that, I'm talking about it. It just happens in every aspect of life. It doesn't really matter if it's on a big stage or the small stage. It's something that you're always going to be faced with. The human nature inside of us is constantly in need of validation, constantly in need of financial success, power, control. So, it wouldn't have really made a difference if it was at McDonald's or it was on Rodeo Drive.
Yeah, at a certain level, I think it starts to matter. With any company, you probably have free range until you get to a certain level. Then if you want to, excuse me, you want to get in an elite group, then that's probably when you start seeing some of the things change up. You got to be a part of certain organizations. You got to be in certain social circles, to get extended that extra hand, or to, like you said, to even be offered that extra door to walk through. There's definitely a vetting process that goes through it. Most people are probably not aware of it, but as you get invited to do different things, you get invited to join certain groups, within the organizations. Obviously, that's probably your ascension, and you're probably going to be, you know, introduced to things that you may or may have to make a decision on and how it may affect you in the future. You may have to make a decision on something that may compromise your morals, or you may have to, decide if you want to continue to, ascend. Then what are you willing to compromise, if you are willing to compromise anything at all?
The sad part about it is these same folks that make the decision to walk through them doors, they the ones that influence the world. They're the ones that got people crying on stage, throwing their panties on stage, sacrificing their rent and their taxes just to go sit in the front row of a concert. These are the same ones that you see with the blue checks, and they're everywhere. They tell you how to dress, they tell you how to talk, they tell you how to sing, they tell you what you got to do to fit in, they tell you what you got to do to be famous and popular and loved. They tell you how to be good friends and this, that, and the third. And the whole time they're strategically positioned there for that very reason, to manipulate and to give control over to someone who has control over them. So you basically saying, I would rather have this financial success than to have any type of morality, knowing that I'm going to be a part of the reason why so many people stray. Yes, I want to be a good singer. I want to be a great icon in this society when everything is done and like I have to be the star. I have to be that person that's on the mountaintop that everybody worships and idolizes even after I'm gone. So if that means that I gotta throw people under the bus and I gotta lie about what this is supposed to look like and what that's supposed to look like, and if I gotta do that, and I gotta hang out with Diddy, and I gotta go through them doors, and I'm gonna do it. And then, unfortunately for you, you do it, but you see all of this weird shit. You see the trafficking, you see the fourth wall get broken, the conversations that people don't want to have, the ones that get people banned and canceled, the uncomfortable conversation. You see you see what you see, and it's like, I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I really thought that they were lying. I thought they were just making that stuff up. And no, they were really serious about the stuff that they're into and the stuff that they're practicing. Now you went out after you started enjoying all the benefits from it. Now you went out. I don't know how many times I've done seen stories about that stuff. people saying, "Oh, it was cool at the beginning," and then "Oh, nah, this ain't it, right? Y'all taking it way too far. Now I gotta go. They ain't gonna make it easy for you." I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if he was a willing. I ain't even going. I gotta say, I don't know if he was a willing participant. I don't know if he was even a participant, but he knew something and he saw something, just like Prince, just like DMX, just like a large number of them. They sing and they put it in their lyrics. They talk to you subtly. They said it through nuance, but they told you, look, this is what's going on, but y'all don't really see it. I'm trying to say it without actually saying it. How long has it been around? What do you matter of fact, what do you do with this information? You've been around just as long as me, if not longer, on this planet. So you've seen some stuff, you've heard some stuff. What do you think about all of this overall in general? Or does it even sit in the back of your mind?
I mean, like you said, they call them influencers for a reason. So that's just the competition you got to deal with and trying to put out, positive information, positive energy, trying to educate people. And that's your direct competition. So yeah, you can figure out how to do something similar and, maybe capture some of that audience as well, because it looks like that energy is here to stay, especially in the vein of being online. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. So the only people that are trying to hold out and not evolve seem to be the ones that speaking the loudest. But the problem is, their platform isn't necessarily being heard. So, which means they need to get online. Maybe split it up, take multiple angles to attack to try to get that information disseminated out there. But yeah, definitely, man, you have to get in the game and start delivering a different message, or just start identifying all the things that's going on, kind of like Cat Williams did on that Shannon Sharp show. And then now you got people that's kind of slowly speaking out and bringing stuff up. But it goes into that thing right now where people talking shit about 50 because him putting that Diddy video out, or the documentary, and then he getting some shade for that. So whether his intentions are good or bad, he's still exposing and putting information out there versus all the people that aren't. So it just shows you the type of world we live in right now.
Speaking of which, why why is everyone having such an issue with that? Because to me, the stuff should have came out years ago. You're all in the same field of work. Y'all been around each other. You know what's been going on. Why now? Why are you taking 10, 15 years to finally speak on some stuff that we already knew was going on? Don't make sense. And I said it the other day, great marketing, but it's like, come on, my G. You should have already put this out there. Y'all knew how he was, and he's not the only one. So why now you trying to question his legitimacy? Whether or not you think this is just him being bitter over the fact that that man was dealing with his ex-wife or his child's mother, what does that change about the fact that that man had all this other stuff going on?
Yeah, I think it's power, man. you know, if you tried to do something and you didn't have a solid team with you or behind you, which could have been happening for years and we just don't know, with them squashing information and putting out fires left and right. But now you got somebody like 50, he's so spread out, as far as with businesses, networks, relationships, and all those things. He's in a position where financially and strategically he can do those type of things and doesn't have to worry about any repercussion or backlash. So that would probably be your issue, is because you look at all the other things that come up, and they get squashed or they get put out and they don't get a lot of legs and a lot of runtime on the internet nowadays, because things get about 24, 48 hours and that's about it. But I think he's just in a position now to do that. And then the people that's complaining and criticizing about it, those are people that probably, I'm not gonna say support that behavior, but it's still that street mentality that you shouldn't be saying stuff. You shouldn't quote unquote try to kick somebody while they're down, even though most of the people in the videos majority of them, African Americans, quote unquote, your people, our people. Nobody's talking about that aspect of it. They're just talking about, 50 kicking Puffy while he's down. So I just think this is a mindset too, man, about where we come from. Again, you got to unlearn those behaviors. And that's just putting on, full blast, looking at the community, the mindset of most of the people that's out there, and then, they still want to be cool. They're online worrying about being cool to a certain demographic. So if you want to be cool, you got to quote unquote say what the cool thing would be to say. So, and that's, again, shows you the weak mindset of most of the people that's out there.
Yeah, I see it too. And it's sad. It's really sad. The older I got, the more I've seen how unhappy and how bitter and how miserable these people become. They get strung out on drugs. They're constantly in controversy. Somebody slept with this person, somebody slept with that person. I'm looking at childhood superstars from Nickelodeon. They homeless, they walking on the street. They look terrible. Like, I'm humbled just watching it, because I remember you. I used to watch you at 8 o'clock and this and that and there, and now look at you as a grown adult. You out here digging in the dumpsters of Wendy's, and it make you really reflect on what's really important and what's real and what's not real. And a lot of our realities have been skewed by this false sense of importance that's required to have in order for you to be anything to anybody out here. A lot of them R&B singers, they're living in their cars. Like the shit is crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. And I agree. I don't think it's going anywhere. I think it's only going to get worse as time progresses. A lot of people are reaping from those contracts. You decided that it was better for you to live in that temporary pleasure and excitement versus doing things the hard way. That's what it just sounds like. All right, option A, I can pick up that pen and paper and I can put my shoes on and my clothes on and I can do millions of different things that are probably going to train my muscles to be strengthened in areas that need to be the right way, or I can just go ahead and skip the line and have everything that I ever wanted handed to me right away and forget about all of the consequences and forget about all of the stuff that's going to come from skipping over the process. I need it right now. And that's what I noticed. Diddy, Shannon Sharp, Cassie, Diddy, the list is long. I feel bad, but I don't feel bad. Because I used to be very envious. I used to really want to skip right to it. I need the money. I need all of it. I need the cars. I need all of it. What do I got to do to get it? But again, they show you every day on social media, on these threads, on these accounts, that life is not what you think it is, that sin is real. Why is it people like y'all don't look up to the sky and tell the people who are your masters? Numbers 32. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. SM, what's going on? A lot of what's happening is because people choose their sin. They would rather live in it than follow these worldly rules and regulations. They don't want to abide by anything that is spiritually sound at all. That's all this is. Get your coffee in it. I appreciate you for pulling up. Was Michael Jackson innocent, or was he a part of some stuff that we don't know about? That's what I want to know. Because to me, a lot of these folks be involved in some stuff and we don't know about it. And we hold them to such high regard, but you forget they humans just like us. So I can see it's a possibility that just like him and so many other people, they signed in blood, or they signed on that dotted line. They had fun with it while it lasted, and then when it was time for that collector to come, they had to ante up. Of course, that's just my opinion. I think a lot of people, they understand that. They know. They won't say it. They don't want to get censored. You talk about the Illuminati. Matter of fact, do you believe that? Do you believe in the Illuminati? Do you believe that exists? Do you believe that that's real?
I'm sure it is. I mean, I don't know anything about it. I haven't done any research, but all these private organizations out there, everybody's got something that they're affiliated with, and it all ties back to something. So maybe not in the sense that everybody talk about on the radio and TV, but definitely there's a group out there, I'm sure, that's affiliated with some stuff. Just depends on as far as to what degree. Because Illuminati could be one thing, and then it could be something completely different grouped out there that they actually have, and that's just something out there that they throw around to give people something to talk about. But the actual groups and stuff that's actually running stuff, you probably will never know the actual names of them.
Shit, they reached out to me a couple times. I ain't gonna hold you.
I got a couple of them hits or two on
That shit wild.
I got a couple emails and messages, man, but I just deleted that shit.
Yeah, I don't even answer none of that. Like, fuck that. Talking about we'll give you everything that you could ever wish for, and that shit is wild. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's just people is dumb. I just think they you get put into environments where you may have exhausted all of the options or the resources that you have, and then you get, especially if you have a talent, and like you said, it perceives to be an easy way out, man. You know, or a way out that provides more resources than what you have access to, based off of your talents. You know, and so some people see that as the way. But like I said, you look at people nowadays, man. These younger folks, man, they getting out there, they getting it in. Even with sports now, you know, a lot of them. I forgot the young man's name. He just got his master's degree the other day, playing football. He just got his degree on Wednesday, and he said he's looking to, you know, he got it in business, looking to go into business and doing some other things, not necessarily playing football for the rest of his life. So you got a lot of athletes now that are getting degrees and, you know, business plans, and they're just using that money to pivot and start something, you know, generational wealth wise, building farms, all kinds of things, man. So they're using it definitely for the its benefits, and not necessarily letting them use them. So, which is a great thing.
Cults are absolutely real.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So
I'm in Texas, so yeah, Waco's not too far from here where I'm at. So yeah, I definitely know that.
How much of the internet is real, and how much of it is actually a scam, is fake?
Man, how many people in the chat are bots? I mean, you answered your own question, man. I mean, especially when you can go out there and get bots and do all these different things and get followers, and you know what I'm saying? All this stuff is just, all this shit is fake.
So if none of it is real, how do we know what reality looks like anymore if everybody's consuming social media?
Depends on who you talk to, man. They say we live in a simulation anyway, and none of this shit real. So depending on what kind of conversations you want to talk about.
That's years and years and years. The Freemasons, Illuminati, this people done sold their soul this, sold their soul that. But even with all that stuff going on, people still are invested in these sponsorships. They're invested in these rappers, these singers. You still watch them, you still consume their content, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What's the point of even looking at this particular clip? This man sounds scared for his life. He's making the assumption that they're trying to take him out. If that's the case, why aren't more people seeing the urgency in this? He from what I watched just now, it sounds like, oh, I did something or I said something, or I'm not doing something that they want me to do, and now they're trying to do this to me, and they're going to try to blame it on drugs. They're going to try to say that I was this, or it was this, or it was that. And no, that's not what's happening. It's something else. It's not the government. It's something beyond the government. So what do we do with that information? It's been out for years and years and years. So why do we still act so oblivious to it?
That all depends on who the we is. You know what I mean? Because if you're talking about we, and we doesn't have any organization or any structure to do anything, then depends on who the we. Then depending on who that we is, without the structure and the organization, you know, where's the how? So how can you do some things? So a lot of questions to ask, but you know, all based on, you know, again, lack of information. Because if this video was out and it's just now circulating, I mean, who was holding the video? You know, why didn't they put the information out there sooner? And then again, you know, it just goes back to the who the we is. You got to definitely have some, you know, have a team, have a support system, you know, have a plan of attack, what type of course of actions you're going to take. lot of things, a lot of questions to ask. So
Cactus, I am certain, and I put money on it, that you are the reason why Sophie Rain is a millionaire. I am certain that you were the first person to go subscribe to Catch Me Outside Girls OnlyFans. I am certain that you spend more time with a bottle of Johnson & Johnson's baby oil at your bedside than you are at producing anything of sound consciousness. I thank you for your contribution, however. But I agree with you, Coach. I absolutely agree. Um, it's sickening. It's absolutely sickening, man. I can't stand the way that the world is right now. Like, you would think we would have better examples and better, what's the word I'm looking for? We would have adults with responsible mindsets and attitudes out here looking more towards building communities in a healthier mindset and spiritually than folks that would side with the temptations and lusts and desires of the flesh. Like, y'all really are out here saying, all right, I would rather give my soul over and be responsible for the harm that's going to come to other people through my own decisions than, I don't know, that shit wild to me, man. All of it. All of it. Right, man. Red line the hoods, own all the real estate and fund the drugs. I could see your point. I can. I've said before, a lot of this shit is controlled. A lot of it. We don't really understand it. We too worried about fighting amongst ourselves. We distracted by the wrong stuff when we could be building real communities. Really. Real communities, ones that look out for each other, ones that's trying to be given education. Go ahead, handle your business, brother. We need more leaders. We need more people who are not worried and concerned about being the fall guy. We need people who aren't scared of the backlash. They're not scared to go against the grain. We need more people who are willing to stand up for what is right. They're willing to call out the bullshit. They're willing to stand in the gap when nobody else wants to. For way too long, we've been getting screwed over, manipulated, lied to, told that we are supposed to hate each other, that we're supposed to sell our body for profit. We're told that we're supposed to sell ourselves for attention. We're supposed to be this and be that to fit into a specific societal norm. We're told that we're supposed to shoot at each other every day, go outside and protect a lifestyle and a habit that has actually been conditioned into us through birth. We've been told that we're supposed to be hateful, that we're supposed to be vengeful, that we're supposed to be spiteful, that we're supposed to throw stones, and we're supposed to just be all of these things. Like, it's sad. It's very sad and it's very unfortunate. And then you see what happens when you are greedy. You see what happens when you're prideful. You see what happens when you decide to live in your own truth and you walk in your own ways. You don't have fellowship. You don't have mentors. You don't have people of sound mind and sound spirit navigating you through the hardships, showing you which ways are right and which ways are not. They literally are taking you off the cliff. I'm wearing me. I'm wearing me. The messages get watered down way too much. Way too much. I don't know what Mike was into. I don't know what he was into. I don't know what he saw. I know he saw something. I know that the odds of him walking through this entire life unscathed and perfect is impossible. Nobody is perfect. I'm not concerned about all that though, because everybody got their own thing, you know what I'm saying? We got to get to a place where our focus and our attention on things that matter. We too distracted and too concerned about the wrong stuff. You worried about what I'm wearing, but you not concerned about the drug addiction. You're not worried about the homelessness. You're not worried about the Epstein files. You're not worried about the government raping us every single day on our 9 to 5s. You're not worried about healthcare being overly priced. You're not worried about rent constantly going up. You're not worried about them basically trying to charge us into obscurity and have all of us on the street. You're not worried about the manipulation tactics that they use to divide men and women. You're not worried about the spiritual sickness that they're spreading on the internet. You're concerned about what a person has on. A lot of y'all be ignorant as hell, man. That's why people like DDG and fucking Sexy Red and them exist. That's why a lot of these communities exist. That's why a lot of that culture that gets celebrated exists. Because y'all be sitting up here just, I don't know what the hell. I don't know what the hell wrong with some of y'all, man. OnlyFans exist because of niggas like you. This racial war exists because of people like you. The reason why P. Diddy and all of them can sleep with and traffic children and all that shit is because of people like you, because you're more concerned about what a person got on. Y'all really be that miserable and bitter? Do you really know who the enemy is? I don't know you. I ain't got nothing against nobody here. I don't care about none of that. My concern is how we keep getting screwed over and over by a government that's laughing in our face, by people with power and position laughing in our face. They making money off of us. Robert De Niro, Tom Hanks, all of them. A319, what's going on? What's going on? I ain't your enemy. I don't mind the jokes. I don't care. I ain't the enemy here. The real enemy is the one that's kicking people out in the street. The real enemy is the one who is taking homeless people and kicking them off the street and moving them to a whole nother. They take all of their property, the shit that they got kicked out with, they take it, throw it in the dumpster, and then discard it. I have an issue with them. I have an issue with car insurance being $700 a month. I got an issue with apartments being $3,500 a month. I have a problem with my health insurance being so fucking unaffordable that you spend the rest of your life paying off a fucking bill that shouldn't even be that much. Your medicine is $1,200. One bottle $1,200, $1,300. What? You got little girls and little boys getting trafficked from country to country, state to state by your favorite people, your favorite rappers, your favorite singers, your favorite artists. Yeah. Your idols, everybody that y'all be loving and adoring. You spend all your money and all of your profits on these people, and they the same ones that's out here doing all the dirt. It's crazy, man. Priorities all messed up. All messed up. Our attention spans are rotten. We don't have no urgency for cultivating a healthier culture. Everything is about drama. Everything is about beef. Everything is about being goofy and silly. Everything is about trying to fit in. Everything is about trying to be popular. Everything is about this and that. But the whole time, it's just a whole mess. I love my hat. I love my hat. I'm not. It's the thing is, there are way too many more important things to be worried about. Period. HIV being spread worldwide. Coronavirus. Why are they promoting children's music with LGBTQ community content in it? Why do we continuously allow men and women to lie in our face, knowing that they are a part of the reason why we see so much drama? I'm gonna say this. I don't know. I don't know if hold up. I'm trying to figure something out. I can't even remember where I got the drink from. I'm gonna say this. Let me do this real quick before I exit.
President Trump is
I thought, hold on a minute. I was trying to do this thing. I can't do it for some reason. I don't see everything ain't worth selling your soul over. Matter of fact, ain't nothing worth selling your soul over. Nothing. And if Hollywood has shown me anything, that I would rather bust my ass and go through the hardships and the trials and tribulations the old fashioned way than to take a shortcut and then end up having to pay Satan back or pay back the principalities of darkness for being greedy and wanting everything to come to me right away. I'm good. Hold on. I was looking for something else and I found this. Shout outs to everybody, man, who pulled up in here. All y'all, all of you, even the ones that I kicked up out of here. Because I know eventually I will do more. But shout outs to everybody, man. It's all love. You gotta have tough skin to do shit like this. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to MJ, man. whoever was involved with that, if anybody was involved with that, God see it. God see everything we do, whether or not you believe he does or not. So if you don't answer for it here, you will, when all of this is said and done. You know what I mean? Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to you, man. Blessings to you and your family. Stay safe, stay warm. Bring the new year in the way that you want to. You know what I mean? Take care of yourself. We about to get up out of here anyway. I got a stream later on. Tap in if y'all in the building. The whole crew gonna be here. We got another one to talk about. Much love. And I'll see y'all guys later on. All right.
Mantra, slave song, slave ship, rip skin, made me rip bones. But no matter how close I hide, my ancestors speak. They tell me the tide isn't friend on us like we're weak. I haven't been getting sleep. Longing to sing until I surpass peak. Until they think we are equal, please. All I want is peace.